Phil recruited me to sell these cards, and now I am recruiting you.
Who is this guy again?
Don't worry about Phil. He drives a Corvette. He is doing just fine.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. How is everyone doing? Let me know in the comments how your Monday is going. I'm happy to report, if you were here last week and you heard the news, that my apartment flooded. They finally got rid of all the fans today. So it's about 10 degrees colder in here, and we're feeling pretty good. We got baby Bubba enjoying his snacks. We'll see how long he lasts. And I'm just happy to be here and to learn how to get rich with all of you. So thanks for showing up. Whether you're live, whether you're watching the replay, if you enjoy this content, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you hate this content, toss it a thumbs down. That's okay too. We're all entitled to our own opinions. Important to note, everything said in this video is just alleged and in my own opinion. I'm just a silly little idiot on the internet that somebody gave a microphone to. That somebody is my boyfriend. He bought me this microphone. Thank you to Pablo, the sponsor of this channel. I'm just kidding. Well, like, I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. Okay. Aaron says, I am ready to get rich. We love to see it. That's the attitude we need, guys. Okay. I'll let you know how many millions I manifest by the end of this stream. The counter is on. I got the notepad. I got the pen. Let's take a tally as the time goes on and the money starts rolling in. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Three Flamingos. Alexis is here. Harrison. Suzanne. Good morning. I always forget you're living in the future. Three Flamingos says, interesting. Had a funny call on Friday and got accepted into their container, but asked for more info and agreement, but yet to see it. I feel like that's the opposite of what we typically see. Usually with these containers, if you will. I hate that word. They want you to pay like right away. Like you're on the call and they're like, so where's your credit card? Can you give me the number? I need it right this second. Rebecca is asking if they need to be Delulu. Exactly, yes. So today we're going to be listening to a podcast episode. Someone sent it in the reaction submission form, so thank you so much. There are a ton of submissions in there right now, so I'm trying to work my way through. Alas, the episode is called The 4 Keys to Freaky, Delusional Wealth. So if Delulu is the Salulu, we're going to find out today. Okay? Okay, get your delusional pants on, everybody. Just got out of the pool. Man, this manifestation thing must be working out for you quite well if you have a pool. Jealous. I wish I had a pool. Oh my God. It has been so hot here. Even right now, I feel like I'm going to need to open the window, so I'm going to apologize for background noise. Ugh, but I am melting. A pool that I bought from the money I made from the last stream. See, this is what I want. I want the members of this channel to get so rich from watching this content that they have so much money they don't know what to do with. You know, it's not about me getting rich. It's about you guys finding the keys to financial freedom. So congratulations, and you're welcome. Okay, I don't have anything else to say. Let's just jump right into this first podcast. So I have 2 podcast episodes lined up. Each one is about 20 to 30 minutes. I've skipped through the intros, and I will just give you a summary of what's going on, because they have annoying music and I don't want to waste 4 minutes listening to nonsense. So let's figure out how to switch screens, because it's like I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. Okay, so again, the first episode, like I just mentioned, that we're going to be listening to today is titled The 4 Keys to Freaky Delusional Wealth as a Spiritual Leader. So I suppose we should all activate our heart chakras before we get started here so that we're in the right mindset to manifest success and riches. So this, for context, this individual claim to fame is that they built a over 6-figure business in 8 months. And this podcast, the intention of this podcast is to teach you about money, manifestation, and social media. So 3 of our favorite things here on this channel. Let me know about the volume as per usual. Oh, it's not going to work? I love that for us. Okay, it's loading. Maybe because I opened this a few hours ago. Please hold. I'm going to refresh.
Actionable tips and step-by-step strategies on money, manifestation, and social media. It's time to step into your role as boss, to raise your vibration and tap into your unlimited potential today. Welcome to the Social Reset Podcast.
How's the sound? Let me know. Aaron wants to know where the decimal point is in the 6 figures. That is to be determined, if you will. So stay tuned. We're going to find out, hopefully.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Hi to podcast and Instagram Live at the same time. We're talking about the 4 keys to embody next level delusional levels of wealth. And this is such a beautiful conversation that I've been having, not within just these past couple days, but the past couple weeks with my students inside Magic Mind, and then the launch of this new offer that is coming through that I'm so excited about. We're talking about wealth in the way that is not just related to money, sales, revenue, the numbers that you have in your bank accounts, right? This is a level of wealth that goes beyond what you're creating.
Did she just switch microphones? Because the audio just got like 10 times better. I don't know if anyone else noticed that.
In the 3D, right? This is 5D levels of wealth. And when we're talking about that level of wealth, when we're talking about that level of abundance and attraction and magnetism, it goes beyond just a very transactional, simple, simple way of looking at money, simple way of looking at sales. We're looking at it in a grander picture, right? It is a bigger zoomed out perspective that we have around money.
Okay, I have a question for those of you that are watching. I saw a thread last week and I was kind of a little bit like surprised by it because I guess I just have a completely different opinion. But this individual was saying, like, if I'm listening to a podcast and I can tell the person is reading from a script, I will immediately turn the podcast off. And while obviously I don't like it when you can, like, when a person is speaking like a robot because they're reading from a script. But for me, this is like 10 times worse to listen to someone just like ramble. How long have we been listening? 2 minutes. Without making a single point. Like, to me, this is more painful than listening to someone who's reading a script. But I want to know what your thoughts are. Let me know. Am I weird or what?
Because I say this all the time. If you're one of my students, you know this. How we do one thing is how we do anything, right? So when we're talking about sales and attraction and receiving, I can essentially intuitively, for the most part, kind of feel into how open someone is to receiving by seeing how they receive compliments, how intimate they allow their partners, family, friends to let them see who they really are. There is only so far that our wealth will allow us to experience, how far we will allow others to experience us. and how much we will allow ourselves to receive and attract in our wealth experience.
Okay, so if you have a pen and paper and you're taking notes, first thing we've learned, if you want to get rich, learn how to take a compliment. That's what I'm hearing. How you receive compliments is going to be how rich you are. Got it. Okay, perfect. Step 1, done.
Wealth not being just limited to how much money we make in our business and the monthly revenue or the yearly revenue, but the abundance of like soulmate high level clients, right? Clients that on this level, like not just clients that are, okay, this person wants to work with me, so I guess I'll say yes because I want the money, right? It's like you're speaking to a higher caliber of people because you are so connected to the work that you're doing. Right. So when we talk about wealth, it goes beyond just the transaction of receiving money. It goes beyond just the conversation of sales.
I really hate personally this conversation around like dream clients, and if you master this one thing, people will be begging at your door to work with you. Because I think, and again, as always, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that in the majority of businesses, you are never going to have or never going to only work with, especially service-based businesses, absolute dream clients every single time. In my 6 years in business, I have worked with some incredible clients, both when I had a yoga business and now in like my current iteration of business doing content. Do I like all of my clients? I would say, yeah, for the most part, 95 to 99% of my clients over the past 6 years absolutely would work with any of them again. Does that mean that all 95% of those people are my absolute dream clients? Well, technically, no. And I really, again, I don't think it's realistic exactly to assume that. Suzanne is saying, I really don't like the term soulmate clients. It really irks me. In that particular case, like the soulmate thing, to me, that seems incredibly like parasocial even too. Like, yes, I have certain clients who I'm legitimately friends with outside of a professional relationship. But for the most part, I do work with you. I submit my deliverables, you pay me, and that's the end of the relationship. Like, I'm not out here finding my soulmate who wants to pay me money. Like, that's a weird like power imbalance almost. I don't know. I was reading through, there was another training that I thought maybe we would react to today, and I ended up changing my mind. But I was like skimming through the presentation to see what this guy was talking about. And part of it was like how to organically attract your dream clients 24/7. And I'm just thinking like, that's not realistic. There is no way, again, unless one of you in the comments works a business where every single one of your clients is an absolute dream client, whatever that even means, correct me. I just don't see this as a realistic way to run a business. Sometimes you got to take on clients that maybe aren't like a 100% fit, but you do the best with what you can. That's what I think anyway. Exactly. As a pet sitter, I have great clients and so-so clients. Exactly this. I agree. Aaron says, I think it almost borders on toxic positivity, 100%. And I think it's like, it's almost unfair to the client too, because then if they don't fit the like whatever imaginary criteria you've created for a dream client or soulmate client, isn't that like kind of offensive? I don't know. That could be like a whole other conversation. People like shit talking their clients on social media, but that's not what we're here for today. We're here for good vibes and learning how to delusionally become so rich. So sorry for my negative energy, guys. Rebecca says soulmate equals they are easier and I make more money and do less work. It's what that feels like when I hear it. And that's not what this is all about. Coach actual humans. Yeah, actually, this is a really interesting point, and I think you're 100% right, because this woman just said this, but it's also common rhetoric I see on like threads and everywhere else on the internet, is this, they always use it in like the same sentence. dream clients who pay in full. So basically, a dream client in their eyes is anyone who's willing to give them all the money up front. Anyone who has been manipulated enough, allegedly in my opinion, to pay me in full is my dream client. Well, for the rest of the world, that's not how it works, because over here as a content creator, I'm still struggling with net 60. Soulmate client sucks. Business and intimate relationships have nothing to do with soulmates or matches. It's not a thing. Yeah, I don't like it. 100%. Harrison says this podcast is giving enmeshment with your clients. That's what it's feeling like, for sure. Okay, let's see what else she has to say, because I'm still not rich.
Right? This is emotional wealth. This is interpersonal wealth. This is a level of wealth that goes beyond our business even. Our business is one extension of our soul's greatest purpose, right? It's just one extension of it. It is not our soul's greatest purpose, right? It is not our soul's, it is one extension of it. It is one iteration, right? It is one expression. Right? But our business is not our sole purpose, period. It is one expression of it. Okay. And when we know.
Okay, whichever one of you commented, I didn't read it out loud, but I read it. The one about her like regurgitating therapy speak. That's what I'm getting here. And also the repetition of saying the same thing over and over again, in my opinion, is coming off as like trying to sound philosophical, but not really saying anything legendary. Let me repeat that for you. Repeating yourself is to come off as sounding philosophical, but not actually saying anything. Let me repeat. I'm just kidding.
That, then we understand that there is wealth and abundance that is not just tied to our business. There's wealth and abundance that's not just tied to our offers and our product suite. There is wealth that is created because we're living on our destiny timeline. There's wealth that is created because we're saying yes, and we're saying we're taking up our soul's mission, right?
Okay, what is wealth? What does this woman think wealth means? Because I'm lost right now.
This is beyond the concept of sales and attracting clients and messaging, right? This is a grander scheme, understanding and perspective that honestly I feel like we all need to have as spiritual entrepreneurs, as leaders, as heart-centered business owners and visionaries and CEOs of the collective, right? Especially if you're doing this sacred work as a healer, as a guide, as a facilitator, as a coach.
Okay, what is the collective? Question one. Question two. I thought this lady was teaching us social media. How is she a healer? I don't understand. Help.
Right? When you are a spirit-led coach, you see yourself beyond your business. You see yourself beyond your services. You see yourself beyond your offers. This might be what you're offering now, but every single student that I work with, every single one of my clients, I tell all of them, and they know this, and it's the reason that they work with me, is they are beyond the fucking industry. That is like point blank, period. Beyond the coaching industry. You might be coaching now, but you're going to go beyond. Like, I see myself speaking like a Tony Robbins stage level energy, people, like a stadium, huge conferences, being a household name, having my own show, right?
Okay, why is she screaming? Is it like, it's not even like the volume so much as the delivery. Like, guys, thank you for coming to my stream. I'm going to be a household name pretty soon. Everybody's going to know who I am. I'm trying not to blast your eardrums. That's why I'm screaming from back here, so you all know that I'm so great and I'm going to fill stadiums. I can't. Oh. Welcome. John Mark, welcome. I'll let you know because I'm sure you're going to ask. Today's beverage of choice is tap water. I have no idea what she's talking about. Okay, I'm glad it's not just me. I'm like, I feel like she's not really saying anything, but maybe I'm missing something. It sounds like she's giving a political speech. It's like a rally. Okay, Three Flamingos is speculating. They say, I know, she's covering her ass by saying early that you can make money, but if you don't, you can get abundance in life vibes regardless. So when you fail fiscally, you can't claim refund. I like this theory because if we are wealthy in our lives, we do not need refunds to make us wealthy in our bank accounts. I love it. The collective is giving us, or is giving very one of us vibes, like this.
Now you are one of us. One of us. One of us.
Find Your More is asking, over under, how many Alani energy drinks did she have before recording this? 3.5, more or less. I'm going to guess at least 2. Maybe that's what's up. Fill stadiums with what? With a bunch of suckers who have wallets ready to open and credit cards ready to swipe. Take notes, Suzanne. Have you learned nothing? John Mark is asking if this is the Australian woman again. No, this is just some lady that somebody sent to me on my submission form. I don't, well, I can tell she's not Australian. I think she's Canadian, maybe, or American. Somewhere from North America. She's got a North American accent, that's for sure. Okay, so sorry. Let's continue.
Right? Having books, going on a international world tour because of my books, right? I've written 2 books. I
forgot I was muted, and I forgot this lady was screaming at us.
Want to continue writing more and more and more, right? I published 2 books while I was in high school. I loved it, right? It hasn't been the full call for me to jump back into it yet until very recently. But eventually, right, that is where I continue to see myself expanding. Right. And maybe there's always going to be a piece of me that does masterminds, or a piece of me that does, like, you know, some offers where I can still create some intimate inner circle, high touch work, because I love doing that. But ultimately, I am beyond the industry, and every single one of my clients is beyond the industry. Right. You are not here to be bogged down by 1-hour sessions. How are you possibly going to scale with 1-hour sessions? Right? You are meant to create a much larger impact that isn't just exploiting your own energy. Like, so much of us are used to going to school, getting good grades, graduating, getting into the workforce, getting a good corporate job, having a good salary, and then working for decades upon decades upon decades until finally, hopefully, after all those years, then we get to retire, and then we're taught to enjoy our life. We're born free, and then our freedom is stripped from us because we must enter into these systems that then strip us of who we are, tell us who we need to be, right? Factory workers, school workers, going to the corporate system, all of these things, right? And then our worth becomes tied to what grade did you get? Oh, why you got 90%? Where's the other 10%? What's happening over there? Why aren't you getting straight A's? Why aren't you in the honors classes? Right? Oh, why did you get in this college? Oh, what are you doing for work? Oh, how much money are you making? Right? And
Oh my God. I'm exhausted just listening to this woman talk. I don't know what's happening, but her energy is really just bringing me down, guys. Like, seriously though, I'm like, I can feel it in my chest. It's like when you're a kid and you break a rule or something and your parents like chastise you, like get you in trouble, like you're grounded. This is the feeling I'm experiencing. Flashbacks to my childhood and being told that I'm grounded because I hit my brother in the face. I don't like it, guys. I don't like being yelled at. It doesn't feel good. How am I supposed to operate on a high vibration if I'm scared for my life? Suzanne says, so this is where the Delulu starts. 1000% yes. Heather's asking, I wonder if she writes a script. It's so all over the place. So I believe the part of the intro that I skipped past, she said this was an Instagram live. So I'm going to assume it's not scripted and she is just talking out of her butt, for lack of a better term. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. 1000%. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie, it's so much background noise that I actually blacked out and felt I was spiraling down. Oh, you know what? Me too, honestly. Half the time when we listen to these podcasts, I have such a hard time paying attention because they don't make any sense. Like, can we just, for once, have something that we listen to that tells me step 1 is this, blah, blah, blah. Step 2 is this. Instead, it's like, step 1, now let me take you over here to something completely unrelated. I hate it. Yeah, she's talking at us, not to us. 1000%. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Sole purpose, our wealth. Hi, Carlos. Our wealth goes beyond just the money that we make. This is not just about sales and offers and product suite, y'all. This is about a freaky, delusional, obscene level of receiving wealth, and wealth not just being tied to money, but wealth being tied to what you get to create as a legendary legacy in this lifetime, right? And sometimes we get so caught up in the business side of things. Oh, the offers and the sales and clients, and I need to do a masterclass that leads into this 50-step launch process. It's like, no, how about we zoom all the way out and we remind ourselves that our business is just one extension of our soul's purpose. And it can take so many different expressions because we are multidimensional people.
But question for the class. If I am an adult functioning within the confines of current modern day society, should I not be concerned about the strategy of my business if I am a business owner? Because I don't know about this lady, but I have bills to pay. And I don't know about you guys watching, but I got things that I gotta pay money for. And so if I don't care about business strategy as a business owner, and I don't care about actually the deliverables that allow me to make money, where is the money coming from? Is my belief in myself and how great I am and the fact that I want to write a book and fill a stadium gonna pay my bills? I don't think so. I don't think so. What do you guys think? I'm confused. That's what I think. Such grandiosity, exactly. Step 1 to delusional freaky wealth. Yell at your audience until they are too scared to say no. You know what? You might be onto something with that one. Yeah, Suzanne's asking, hasn't she already said this? Finish the script and start it back from the beginning? I think we're talking in circles, if I'm following correctly. That's how it's coming to me anyway. So sorry. That's broke hater talk. You know what? I think you're also onto something. And this is why I will never be rich, because I am such a little dumb idiot. I exchange my time for money. Silly, silly girl. Exactly. Alexa says, you bet you should care. That puppy needs to eat. This little dog over here, he's got needs. And my delusional belief in myself and my ability to fill a stadium is not going to pay for his vet bills. He actually has to get a haircut tomorrow. Do you know how much a dog haircut costs? Like 3 times the price of my own haircut, okay? It's rough out here in these streets, guys. 100%. Lance says, I see no business plan, just a Tony Robbins cheerleader. You guys are right. I know. I got a broke hater mindset. This comment says, you clearly don't believe, and you non-believers don't win. You need to embody the manifestation. You're doing it wrong if it doesn't work. You're right. You know what? Being Delulu is the Salulu. I said this at the beginning, and I'm not even taking my own advice. Silly, silly me.
We are multi-dimensional humans beyond this realm, right? We are beyond the coaching industry, beyond the service provider industry, beyond the funnels and the sales calls and the offers and the like all the things beyond that. How do you show up knowing that you get to be a household name? How do you show up knowing that you get to have your own TV show where you can say and do whatever the fuck you want, right? We are still living in this past version of our limitations.
Tell me you've never had a TV show without telling me. I say this as like a little bit pretentious, but I'm just trying to be a little bit of an ass. I used to have a TV show on like local TV. It was only available in the province of Ontario. And it was just like me teaching yoga. But there are certain things you cannot say on your TV show because there are certain things that cannot be put on TV. So I'm just saying, you wouldn't, even if you had a TV show, which like maybe she does have a TV show. I don't know. I don't know who this woman is. I highly doubt she can say whatever she wants. That's all I'm saying. Okay? And I can speak to this because this is something that I actually have done.
Of who we were taught to be versus the bigness that we are here to create that has no rules, that says fuck the rules, right? We're still creating some semblance of rules because that is where we feel safe, right? And so it's about rewriting this, creating a new legacy, creating a new reality. And this is what I mean by highest wealth timeline. It's not just how much money you can make. It is the level of power, not power as we see it in like, politics and these leaders and a lot of the corrupt systems that we have, but like capital P power, like legendary soul power that we came to this lifetime with that we forgot because we enter the human experience and we have our flesh suits, right? I always laugh when I say that.
Please do not ever refer to your body as a flesh suit. What is happening?
Like we have our flesh bodies and we forget why we came to this earth to begin with, right? We forget the soul mission that we entered into this space with, which is beyond any one of us. But we get so caught up in the ins and outs of a business, right? That we forget that this goes beyond all of the things that we are designed to do in this lifetime, right?
Okay, so out of curiosity, I went to this woman's Instagram just to see, because I'm still so confused about what she does, because I thought we were learning about social media as per the intro that said we would learn about money manifestation and social media, but we're definitely not learning about social media. So I just wanted to know. It says business witch, guiding women to unleash the dragon within, taboo alchemy, truth telling, single mom on food stamps to $1 million in 4 years. So now we know, I guess, that she's a witch. So this makes a lot more sense. So forget the social media part, because I don't think that's happening, folks.
Yes. Carlos said it's so hard not to be lit up hearing you talk. Yeah, very much like maybe plutonic type wealth and unlocking something. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, 5 times Scorpio over here. So lots of death and rebirth and transformation, right? That's like every single one of us who is attracted to this work. It is, we are here to die and be reborn. I am not the same person I was this morning versus like a month ago, a couple weeks ago. Who is she? I don't know her, right? I literally do not know her. And so because we're evolving so deeply and so rapidly, and it is so, yeah, I'm a Scorpio stellium. It's like Mars, Venus, Sun, a North Node, Mercury. I don't know. There's like so much Scorpio. And so Scorpios, if you have these Scorpio placements, it's like you are used to that cycling, right? Like deaths and rebirths and dying and becoming reborn, like the phoenix that's rising from the ashes. Yeah. And it's like, we are here to create such powerful, powerful things. All of us are so multi-dimensional, right, in this space. So I want to talk about oh my gosh, I wanted to put.
Space Pastry says, I'm lost. Same. If anyone knows what's going on, please help. I was following for a bit, and now I'm confused again. So help. Help me. I'm just a girl.
In the chat my masterclass that I am doing starting next Wednesday. I'm so excited about this. It's been a really long time since I've done a full free masterclass. So this is called The Initiation, and it is 4 levels of initiation. So 4 keys broken into 4 calls on wealth, purpose, sales, and message. Message also meaning voice, expression of your vision, expression of your movement, right? And these 4 calls embody this level, this perspective shift of seeing your business and yourself and your identity shift in a completely new light. This is an activation. It is not just a masterclass where I'm teaching you. This is channeled transmissions, 4 calls, and I just opened up the Telegram group. So we have that going. This is a free masterclass series. All right. So link in my bio. You can register for free, save your spot. Call number 1 starts next Wednesday.
Aaron says, this is just so all over the place. Maybe confusion is part of the goal. I almost wonder sometimes if some of these people intentionally say a lot of like word salad, you know, saying things without really saying anything on purpose to confuse you so that you think you need to pay them in order for it to make sense. But then unfortunately, a lot of the times you end up paying them and then it still doesn't make sense. So that's kind of what I'm guessing anyway. John Mark's trying to guess my star sign. That is not it. I am not a Sagittarius, but nice try. Of course she's on Telegram. Yeah, can someone in the comments let me know? I've been seeing this shift. A lot of these coaches, I don't really know what Telegram is. I assume it's like WhatsApp, but I'm not certain. You can let me know. But I used to see a lot of coaches using like Voxer, it's like a walkie-talkie app to work with their clients, and now a lot of them are shifting to Telegram. Why? Why is that? Because there's a lot of fake accounts of me on TikTok. I've shared the screenshot before, but if you like look up Danielle Ryan on TikTok, there's like literally the whole screen on my phone is not me. There's one account that's me and the rest are not me. Anyway, all of those people will message my followers and tell them to Telegram me, because they're scammers. So I know a lot of scammers use them, but I don't really know what it is and why all these coaches are using it all of a sudden. Not a Pisces, not a Virgo. I am a Taurus. I am the bull. I am stubborn, and that's why I'm so angry. Just kidding. Or am I?
Yes, Pluto is wealth, not in a here's more cash, but unlocking a deeper sense of power. Yeah, when I use the word wealth, I don't even relate it necessarily to money anymore, because there are levels of wealth that go beyond just having money, right? And one of the analogies I love to give my students is like, we see multimillionaires here who are living in scarcity every single day. And we have people who might, they might not have a home. They might not have like, things that we feel like are very kind of basic needs. And a lot of people live without these things, right? They live without Wi-Fi, they live without electricity, whatever it might be. And they are able to create and tap into a level of sufficiency, right? A level of sufficiency and gratitude. And where many of us would be like, oh, well, I couldn't possibly live without this and that, right? Because of what we're used to, because of the level of privilege that we may have in our lives, right? So we see these extremes where we see these multimillionaires, billionaires that are living in scarcity. And then we see people who have very little and create safety. So how is safety created? If it's not created by having more and more and more money, because we see a lot of people who have a lot of money still struggling to to feel a sense of worth and security and purpose, right? So if it's not connected to that, and we see people who don't have any of that, who do access a level of gratitude and love and safety and security that they create for themselves, then where does this come from? Oh, right. It comes from within us, right? Where so many of us as business owners, we think like, well, once I hit that 10K month, then I'll really feel like an official business owner. And then you hit it and then you're like, okay, I'll feel it when I hit 20K months, right? And then we hit 20K months and
Okay, I feel like this is any kind of type A overachiever. Like, this isn't really a unique phenomenon. I've been dealing with this my whole life, where I set a goal and then I achieve the goal and then I forget and I just work towards the next goal. Like, that's not really, this isn't like a woo-woo spiritual, only rich people experience this thing concept. Doesn't everyone do that? I don't get it. Safety is created by your coach yelling random platitudes at you. That's what is coming across. Also, I want to bring back Lisa's comment. Lisa said, Julie Anderson has said this about Ray Higdon. For those of you that don't know, Julie Anderson is a anti-MLM creator here on, I was going to say TikTok. We are not on TikTok. We are on YouTube. She's great. You should go subscribe to her channel if you're not already. Anyway, it says he will purposely be confusing so you will pay for his programs and gain understanding of what he meant. That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, this woman is not making any sense. And maybe it's so that if I'm someone who's drank the manifestation delusional Kool-Aid, I'm going to think like, wow, she has $1 million business. She must know what she's talking about. Maybe if I pay her, she will explain it in a way that actually makes sense. If that's you and you're watching this and you're thinking, I admire this person on Instagram that's so successful or appears to be so successful, but I don't understand what they're saying, so I'm going to buy their program. Pause. Maybe don't. Maybe don't. I'm not saying they're all scammers, but maybe just think about it, okay? Use your brain, okay? I believe in you.
we're like, shouldn't I feel secure? Say, I remember when I hit 200K in my business for the first time within the first year of my business. And I remember feeling guilty. I remember feeling so like inadequate, so unworthy, right? I remember even like crying because I was like, shouldn't I be enjoying this? And then realizing like, oh, I have a lot of wounds around receiving. I couldn't even receive it. I couldn't even post about it. I couldn't even tell people about it, right? It was like I felt so activated by my own wins because I didn't know how to fully receive it in my body, right? This is something we're working on inside Magic Mind, is like you know something intellectually, like you know something versus you know something. You know it in your heart, in your body. It has been integrated. One of the things that we do inside Magic Mind is we do integration calls, right? We're currently going through a Magic Mind exclusive course called Voice of Your Vision. And it is all about expressing yourself and channeling through the voice of your vision, not copywriting rules, 3 steps to a great caption, right? Like robotic, okay, let's sound like everybody else in the industry, right? No. And I say that with love, so much love. But we need more embodied leaders where it's like, here's the fucking truth. I'm not writing this like a 5-year-old can understand what I'm saying. No, my clients are fucking intelligent and wise beings where they can feel my poetry seeping through their veins. They feel it in their hearts, right? I don't need to write like a kindergartner needs to understand. Like, we're throwing away all of those bullshit business rules.
Does anyone else feel like they're at a slam poetry session? Because the delivery, the cadence, that's what it's giving. Oh my God. Is this person's only job as a coach? As far as I can see, well, they're not a coach. Remember, they're a witch. But as far as I can see on their Instagram, their job is being a witch, a business witch, aka a business coach. Oh, I clicked her website and it didn't work. So I don't really know. I don't know who this person is. I don't know what she does, but I'm assuming she's a coach if someone sent me her stuff. I'm looking at my phone, by the way, to try and figure it out, but her website isn't working, so I guess we'll never know. We'll never know who she is or what she does. Apparently, she's going to be an author soon and a stadium filler, so stay tuned for that.
From those business coaches, right? We are going into, I'm going to express myself and the semblance of my being, the essence of what I'm here to do from my soul. And that is what attracts my people, because there is a tonality, there is a vibration, there is a frequency that every single one of us has within our movement. And that is what draws people in. That is what allows us to connect with our people, right? Not because you checked off all the things on the checklist for the perfect caption, that if you do not write your captions and your story series like this, you will not be successful. No, this is beyond that, right? Again, this masterclass is about going beyond. So it is going beyond copywriting rules, messaging guidelines, marketing tactics, right? It is what is the activated throat chakra of your movement.
Okay, I'm having a moment here. As I'm looking at this woman's Instagram, a couple things are coming up. So this person is asking, Aaron's asking, this person has a following. So they have 70,000 followers on Instagram. But when I look through their reels are averaging like 400, 500 views, which I would expect an account with like around maybe 2,000 followers to be getting that kind of views. Anyway, I'm starting to realize as I'm looking through her profile, I think we have looked at this woman before, and I think she's rebranded. So I'm not alleging that her followers are fake so much as I think she used to be popular for something else related to business and social media. And my assumption, this is again, complete wild guess. I'm not stating this as fact, but it's something that I've seen happen a lot in this industry. My assumption is she ended up hiring a mentor who is deep into the manifestation sort of vibes and is now starting to replicate a lot of that, because I know that many of you who are like deep into this industry like I am, you know, like who's under what sort of like lineage of coaching. And it's really interesting to see the evolution of people's content once they start working with a specific mentor. At least in my opinion, that's what I've noticed with certain people. And that's what I'm thinking has happened here. I'm going to continue to scroll through my phone and see if I can find a link to the other stream where we looked at this woman prior to this interesting shift that she's made. So let's just keep listening while I look for that.
What does it want to say? What do they want to say? And then speaking from that place, all the things that we are scared to say, all the things that we are scared to admit, all of the words and the taboo language and all the things that we're told, don't say that. Oh my God, don't do that. No one would buy if you did it like that. Oh, you're a this and this. Shouldn't you be in a more professional outfit? Shouldn't you cover up your tattoos, right? Oh, do you have this and this? Like, there are so many things that we have been told, essentially water it down, suck it up, right? Restrict ourselves, fit into that little box, and then you'll be presentable, and then you'll be hired, and then you'll be worthy, and then you'll be liked, right? What we're essentially saying to ourselves when that is happening is, I can't possibly be successful as all of me. I can't possibly have the levels of delusional, crazy, obscene wealth just being little old me, right? But that's not true. Of course, that's not true. We've just been conditioned from all of these systems of supremacy and all of these different ways of living and being and, shoving ourselves into a cubicle for hours and hours on end.
Okay, so it looks like we reacted to this woman in October of last year. And in that video, she was focused more on the start a coaching business in 7 steps. I'm trying to read the screen while we're doing this. And much more was the traditional business coach that we typically look at. So it's kind of interesting to see from then the shift till now, 9 months later, and how drastically different it is. So I linked the stream in the comments if you haven't already seen that one. It might be interesting to go and watch it after this one just to see again how drastic the difference is here.
Right? Exploiting our life force energy versus we get to create something that is truly free, that is truly us, that is truly an embodiment, the essence of who we are and who we're meant to be in this lifetime. I mean, that is why we're here, right? That's why we're here. I tell my students a lot, my worst fear is getting to my deathbed.
No, so she was not a witch. She was just a regular, I'll call them regular. She was a social media business coach. So she would teach you how to build a business using social media. And now she's a witch 9 months later. I don't know when she made the switch because, again, I don't keep tabs on this person. I didn't even realize that I'd already covered this person. Just interesting.
And meeting the person I could have become, right? Because we really don't have anything to lose. We don't have anything to lose. We just feel like we're under the assumption, we believe the lie that we do have something to lose when we become our truest selves, when we speak from our truest voice, right? When we allow ourselves to be who we're meant to be at our core. But we still have this level of limitation that's is that okay? Right? We look around, we're like, the biggest fear is we are the odd one out because of our conditioning from the days where we had to be a part of the tribe. Because when we weren't, it would mean no shelter, no food, right? No resources.
Oh my God. These are analogies that I used to use. This is so embarrassing. I used to talk like this when I had my coaching business. Make these parallels to, cavemen times when our fear response system was triggered by tigers trying to eat us. And now it lives in our bodies in modern times. And that's how we're acting. I know she's talking about, we have to follow the pack so that we don't starve to death. But same idea. I hate it. She learned this somewhere and she's just regurgitating it. I can almost guarantee you.
And we get to create a new level of nervous system safety, which is another level of wealth. I actually see wealth primarily as safety, sufficiency, joy, fulfillment. Not a number in the bank account, because also money needs to breathe. So it's not like I'm holding on so tightly to one number and it always being one number. I'm letting my money breathe. I love investing in things. I love pouring into causes that
What does letting your money breathe? Can someone put your guesses in the comments? What do you think that means? Because I've got a few guesses.
I get to support as well, which is fun for me, right? It is literally exciting for me, right? Not necessarily organizations, but family members and friends, right? My past couple birthdays, if I go on trips, if one of my friends isn't able to stay an extra day or the plane ticket or whatever, I'm like, hey, let me support you. This is literally what, and they're like, no, I don't want, no, I'm like, this is literally why I run this business.
Okay, but that's not an investment. I might go out for dinner and offer to pay for my friend. I'm not investing in my friend. What? What is happening? Why is this? I hate it.
I retired my mom from corporate, right? She used to be I think her English is 100% fine, right? But she's an immigrant from Canton, which is also known as Guangzhou. And, English is not her first language. And there were coworkers that would say things about her accent while she worked in these corporate settings, right? My dad also got the same thing. My dad got told, like, you're never going to make it in corporate with that accent, right? And a couple years ago, he made partner at his firm, right? And so I retired my mom from corporate because she was experiencing all these things that she didn't.
Please hold. It seems to have stopped working. Okay, where are we at? 23:42.
My mom from corporate because she.
Oh no, we might not learn how it ends, guys. I'll refresh one more time.
My mom from corporate because she was experiencing all these things that she didn't want to experience in the corporate setting, and now she gets to work for me. She's my accountant, right? She was working for as an accountant for all of these amazing firms, and now, like, this is the power of wealth, not just money, wealth, security, safety, power, capital P power.
Okay, what she is saying right at this moment is not untrue. Like, if you have wealth, you have more security. I think that's what she's saying anyway. But everything she has said up until this point had nothing to do with that. Instead, she was saying, rather than wealth, focus on being your truest self, and like all of this nonsensical, magical thinking type things. So why are we now bringing it back to, well, if you have wealth, then you have security, then you have power? Like, that's not literally not, at least that's not what I heard her say for the last 20 minutes. So now I'm just confused how we got here.
Right? The ability to show up and shift our reality and timeline. This is what I mean by our highest wealth timeline. It is not just the money that we make, because we can also make lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money and not feel safe and not feel fulfilled. And
Lori is asking, if I go back to the beginning, will this make any more sense? No, it will not. So just stay where you are or you're going to get 10 times more confused, allegedly, in my opinion.
not feel joyful and not be living our purpose, right? It's possible to do it, which is why hustle culture and the grinding culture of just go, 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 don't listen to your intuition, don't listen to your body, just, create profit at all costs. It works. It works, but at what cost, right? It works, but what do you lose?
Harrison says, capital S scam. Say it with me now. Everyone, put your scans in the comments. Let's see it.
Right? Like, we're abandoning ourselves for the sake of profitable, for the sake of logical linear growth, right? That's not what we're here to do as spirit-led, heart-centered entrepreneurs that are here to listen to your body, listen and make intuitive decisions and choices, right? So this masterclass, starting next Wednesday, is all about activating deeper and deeper levels of wealth and power and sales as well, right? Sales in a way that is sovereign, that is connected to the work that you're here to do, the people that you're meant to serve, right? The people that you are meant to the people who are meant to be a part of your community. I feel like when we start our businesses, we already have predestined people that we're meant to serve, right? That are meant to learn from us. And we are meant to learn from them. This non-hierarchical coach client being equal, right? Way of building a relationship, which is so powerful, right? We are here to shift the legacy. We're here to shift the way that things have always been done. Right. And it starts with us. Like, we are the ones that continue and start this very, very powerful way of running our business. Right. But it also takes us having to look at things in a different perspective, not be bogged down by the rules and the guidelines and the things that everybody else is doing. Right. But being able to tap into a level of wealth that isn't just money and sales, it's also spiritual wealth. It's emotional wealth. It is somatic wealth, right? Like the ability to process our emotions and sit with our body and listen to our body's messages and alchemize what we're feeling, turning things that used to be triggers and shadows into a level of purpose, into things that we get to teach, right? I just posted on my feed a carousel post on how if we have not processed our own self-ridicule, our own judgments towards ourselves, our own self-criticism, it can come off, it can leak, the energy can leak into our messaging and come off as judgment towards our clients, right? Where it's this like holier than thou energy and vibe that
Suzanne says, I'm still lost. You know what? I've been really trying to listen for the last probably 2 minutes, and I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
we can sometimes smell when other people are doing it. But it can also happen subconsciously within ourselves, right? Because everything is a mirror. Everything holds up a mirror to us, to our inner landscape, our inner world, right? So across these 4 calls, I'm talking about wealth, again, beyond money, beyond sales, beyond the money that you have in your bank account, right? A level of wealth, a level of attraction, right? And then purpose, that's call number 2, a level of understanding and deepening your purpose that activates everything for you, right? Seeing your business as beyond just what we get swept up into launches and sales, like this launch hamster wheel, versus like, are you showing up to your purpose in the most powerful way that you can, right? And then sales is the third call. So your understanding of sales in a sovereign, powerful way, right? This is feminine sales. That I don't mean that that's just a
It's like she took every buzzword that ever existed in the like spiritual woo-woo manifestation wealth space and was like, you know that, have you ever played that game where if you go to like a family gathering or some sort of social event and like you and your siblings or you and your friends make a bet where it's like, okay, I'll pay you $5 if you can put this word into a conversation naturally, and they give you like the weirdest word that makes no sense. That's what this feels like. This feels like someone was like, I will pay you $100 if you can do a podcast episode and you use these 5 words. And then she's just spent the last 30 minutes trying to make it sound like these words belong when we're all just left like, what?
directed towards women. We all have feminine energy. And the word feminine, as I'm using it in this context, mainly just means receiving, right? So receiving sales rather than this constant push, push, push. I have to go and get clients. I have to go and find clients. I have to go and hunt people down versus here is how I get to be in my magnetic energy. And also the sacred union of both the masculine and the feminine, which is here's, I'm going to push this thing out. Here I'm going to pull, right? It's the push and pull. It's the dance, right? So even in a launch, it's like, okay, I'm expressing, this is me calling people in, and then this is me receiving and opening so that I can attract.
Good. Lance. Lance says, I think she wrote podcast with buzzwords on ChatGPT. Oh my God, that's good. So accurate. So true.
So that I can magnetize, right? Because if we're just pushing, then how do we, it's like people want to come in, they're like, I don't know how to get in because your energy is so closed off, right? Versus like being only open. Then it's like, oh, hi, can I talk to you? What exactly are the details? What exactly is the transformation, right? So we need both. We need this cycle, this dance within our sales. And that's call number 3. And then call number 4, as a part of the initiation, my free masterclass, is the message, the voice, right? The voice of your movement, the voice of your vision. expressing yourself in a way that is channeling through from the spirit of your business versus following the copywriting rules, right? That is not just, this is what I feel like I should be posting. This is what I feel like people need to hear from me. This is what people have asked me to talk about, right? Instead of being like, you know, a piece of grass in the wind that's just flowing. Oh, people want me to do this. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, people ask me to do that. Okay, I'll do that over there, right? Instead of that, it's like, what is it that you feel like no one else is doing this? No one else is naming their masterclass like this. No one else is launching something like this. No one else is doing it in that way, but you are. But you are, because you see yourself as beyond the fucking coaching industry, right? Beyond offers and master classes and services and product suites, right? Like these are things that we desire because of the structure that it provides our business. But at the same time, you zoom out and you see yourself as beyond that, right? This is an expression of your soul's greatest purpose.
Yeah, Suzanne's comment here says, this seems like such a long, drawn-out sales process. This is kind of what I'm thinking. As someone who works in content marketing, I make a lot of like short-form videos that brands can use to run as ads for their products or services. So I feel like I have a pretty good handle on that specific niche of like making short-form content with good and interesting hooks that converts people into buyers or potential leads for whatever you're trying to sell. Instead of wasting 33 minutes and 46 seconds of your day talking in circles for that entire time, I think she would have been better off spending that 30 minutes coming up with like, you know, 2 or 3 really attractive hooks that speak to whoever the target market for this kind of content is. I'm not really sure, but I guess it exists somewhere. So figuring out that person, what they want, what they're looking for help with, etc., coming up with some good content hooks, and then just making like an Instagram reel instead of a podcast where we talk about nothing for 30 minutes. But maybe her ideal client likes this kind of thing. I don't know.
That is what you're here to do. Okay, so that is calls number 1 to 4. You can register in my bio. So you can exit this live, click the link in my bio, click the initiation, put in your first name and your email. For those listening on the podcast, it'll be inside the show note description next to the initiation. So you just click through that and make sure you save your seat. This is going to end up being a packaged paid course, but if you're attending live, you get access to it for free. Okay. So while you still can, register, get your name in there. I cannot wait to see you. Call number 1, the wealth ritual. All right. All the details are in there and you'll.
Okay. She's probably just going to repeat herself for the next minute to sign up for her program. So that was fun. Loved that for us. Really good times. We definitely learned, what does it say here? The 4 pillars of a successful heart-led business. I don't think I learned that, but I'm so confused, guys. Help. Somebody send help. Okay, next up, we are going to... We're going to listen to a different podcast. We're going to change gears entirely, and we're going to listen to a different podcast episode that somebody told me. Somebody sent me. I knew that that first podcast was only 30 minutes, and that would only take us to about 5 o'clock. So I figured this other podcast is 23 minutes, but the first 5 minutes are her promoting her offer. So I skipped past all of that. So it's like a 15-minute thing. So it should be perfect timing. But yes, Suzanne, you are correct. That is an hour of our lives. We will not be getting back anytime soon. So sorry about that, but also not sorry at all. So seriously, did she mention any pillars? I didn't hear anything. The only thing that I said to write down was whatever she said at the beginning. And I don't even remember what that was. So that's how well that went. Oh no. Okay. I think I learned how to open a word salad bar. I love it. Short and punchy. Let's get rich. Yeah, so this one is a lot less woo and more about coaching. I think. I don't know. I haven't listened to it. I just listened to the beginning until I could get past the intro. So this episode is titled Turn Your Next Launch into a Sales Machine. And we're going to learn what the launch process looks like, the deep and relentless details that this person goes into in their particular launch process, an example of what a successful launch is that they recently had, how they work pre-sales into their launch process, what's wrong with most launch plans, and how to take parts of this person's launch strategy that will transform your next sales the next time you launch something. So that sounds like a lot of things to learn in only like 19 minutes or something like that. So get your pens and papers ready, guys, because this is going to be a lot. Oh no, is it not going to work too? Ugh, okay. Let's try again. Thanks, Lisa. Have a good night. Sorry you can't stay. I'll catch you on the next one.
Thing for you. So the promo code, way that you launch your online sales, or the way that you launch your new rebrand, or the way that you launch anything. So I don't care if you are an online company and you're a coach and you're launching masterclasses, or you're a brick and mortar business and you are launching a new service or launching a new menu or launching some type of new plan. This is going to be the episode for you today. So I'm just going to back way up and talk to you a little bit about the way that me and my assistant, Gigi, she is like my right-hand girl. You probably, if you've ever taken classes with me, you have talked to Gigi, you have worked with Gigi. She's always on the back end of my emails. And she and I do a lot together when it comes to building this business. And I fly her to my city about 2 times a year to plan out our next 6 months of launches and marketing. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys the outline today. I'm going to kind of teach you the exact skeleton that we use. So this episode is basically a bag of fucking cash. So I'm going to need you to like stop the car, get a pen and paper, and really listen and think about what I'm saying to you guys today. Because I think most coaches would probably charge like $2,000 for this, if I'm being completely frank.
Okay. I feel like this isn't the first time we've heard something like this. Come to my free training. It's worth $5 gajillion. We watch the training. They teach us nothing. Nothing. And it's free, but it shouldn't be free. It shouldn't even be on the internet. So I will withhold my judgments, but I'm highly skeptical that this, what is it? I'm trying to do some math here. Next 17 minutes is worth $2,000, as she has so boldly stated.
However, I want you guys to be hellaciously successful so that you can afford to hire me. Okay? That's where we're at right now. All right. So I fly her to me here in Lexington about twice a year.
Is it super loud? I can turn it down a little bit. There's no, I'll do it through my volume control and then you can let me know if it's okay.
Year, every 6 months. And we sit down, we hunker down, and we just like really work out all of our launches. And because she's 6 hours away from me, 99% of our relationship is completely online.
And no, to answer the question of, is this the same woman? This is somebody completely different. Less woo, more business coach, I think.
It's like over Zoom. But when we fly her to me and we put her up in a swank ass hotel and we pay for all of her meals as a company, she and I get to really cozy up with coffee and hoodies, and we create our own little brainstorming vortex to hammer out our most important work of the year. This is when we decide on dates of what are we launching over the next 6 months? What are the dates of those open and closed carts? What are the subjects that we're teaching in those launches? Are these masterclasses or mini minds? What's the name of these masterclasses and mini minds? And then what's the launch plan for the mastermind, the mini mind, the coaching certifications, the VIP days, the masterclasses, everything that's coming up over the next 6 months? Okay. And then once we get our dates set up and the names of the classes set up, we then backtrack and create a skeleton of what dates all of the emails need to go out for that launch, the assigned podcast episodes for that launch, the Instagram stories, as well as like if we're doing a pre-sale or a post-sale for that launch. And we assign an entire marketing schedule to each launch.
Okay, I keep turning it down on my end, but I don't know if that's helping.
So I'm going to break this down. I'm going to go real slow, and I'm going to try to teach you exactly what we do so that you can.
Okay, Suzanne or Three Flamingos might be able to answer this better just because I've been out of it for so long. I believe a mastermind is like when you get a bunch of people together in like a container for usually like 8 weeks, couple months, whatever. I think that a mini mind is like a smaller version of that. So it's usually like a month or shorter. Suzanne is saying this is the most logical person we've listened to so far. Yeah, so far what she's saying does make sense. If you're going to launch a product, you want to like create a lead up to that product and figure out what the content is that's going to lead to you selling that thing. So far, nothing problematic. I'm still skeptical of this. This podcast episode is worth $2,000 claim though.
And either mimic it exactly, model it exactly, or take the pieces that feel good to you and run with them in whatever way feels best for you. Okay, so let's say that we're sitting down and we're like, okay, in the next 6 months, we know that we want to do a masterclass on how to train a new team member. So this is real. We did this. We just had a masterclass called the 10X formula, and that 10X formula was how to train someone new when they come and they work for you. It was the best fucking masterclass ever.
Okay, I'm confused. Doesn't Grant Cardone have the term like 10X trademarked? I need to Google it. Yeah, 10X is a trademark of Grant Cardone filed August 8th, 2019. How does this woman have a program called 10X? Does he just not know? No one's reported it? Yikes. That's not a lawsuit I would personally want to get involved in. I'm just saying.
By the way, my assistant got off the phone with me and she said, I always think that you have done your best work until we do another masterclass, and that was your best work yet. So we just keep getting better. We just keep practicing and getting better at these masterclasses. So anyway, let's rewind to 6 months ago when this was just a twinkle in our eye and we were just thinking about it. We sat down and we were like, okay, we want to teach a class how to train a new team member. What are we going to call it? So we decided on the name, the 10X formula. And we decided on the dates. We are going to teach this class on June 19th and June 20th. Okay, it's going to be a 2-day class. So we put that in our calendar. That's all we had so far. Okay, so let's baby step this.
Okay, this comment is saying you can use it if you buy a license to use it. So maybe she did that. Maybe she did. Is she in a different country? Trademarks aren't necessarily global. Well, based on that Google search, it showed he has a trademark filed in Australia and the US. So my assumption is he probably also has one in Canada. And she definitely has a North American accent. So she's either from the US or Canada. So I would guess she would have had to buy a license, or she just doesn't care and is hoping she doesn't get caught.
Then we said, well, we're going to want to charge $555 for this class. That is going to be what we charge. However, we want to do a 2-day pre-sale about 30 days before the launch. So we always do this. We almost always have some type of pre-sale for our masterclasses. So as we're sitting there in our hoodies with our coffee, we're figuring out what class we're doing, what's it called, what's the date, how much are we charging for it? And then we backtrack and we say, how much do we want it to be on pre-sale? So for pre-sale, I think it was like $333. It was only 48 hours. And that happened 30 and 31 days before we opened the cart to the actual class. We also said, okay, this is going to be a smaller launch. So our bigger launches are reserved for like the big masterminds and the mini minds and the coaching certifications. This is just a monthly masterclass. So we want to provide it a proper launch. However, we do understand that this is a smaller launch than, say, the mastermind. So because it's a smaller launch, it is going to require 3 main things. Number 1, it's going to need about 6 emails. That is converting people to this class. Number 2, it's going to need about 2 podcast episodes where we are sending people to this class. And number 3, it's going to need roughly 30 to 50 story slides that we're going to be able to pepper throughout Instagram the month that we're launching it. All right. So we knew from the beginning that we were going to need 6 emails, 2 podcast episodes, and roughly 30 to 50 story slides on Instagram just for this masterclass alone.
Okay. Nothing she is saying so far, in my opinion, is very problematic. I think that this is sound advice. However, going back to my original point where she was saying this is worth $2,000, I would say that to me is just a reflection of how inflated and insane the prices are in the coaching industry, because none of this is revolutionary. I literally learned a very similar, not the exact same, but very similar launch structure, launch strategy back in 2018. And it cost me $97 to get access to the spreadsheet and like a person that walked me through. Like I went to like a masterclass where they showed you the launch formula, they taught it to you, whatever. I'm still highly skeptical that this information is worth $2,000. And I know she said that in passing, and I'm kind of holding on to it. I just think, it's a greater representation of just how wildly inaccurate the pricing is in this industry. But again, so far, nothing is too, outlandish that she said, at least in my opinion.
So that is when we started setting dates for all of these things. We said, okay, let's focus on just the emails. Now, please mind you, as I'm going through this, we are doing everything that I'm saying right now. We are doing all of this for one masterclass. Okay. We do about 12 masterclasses a year.
I'm muted. I said, William's asking, oh, look at this baby. William's asking, what are story slides? Story slides are literally like your Instagram stories. So if I posted 3 Instagram stories today, that would be 3 Instagram story slides. So it's just semantics, really.
We do 2 rounds of a mastermind per year. We do 2 mini minds per year, and we do 2 cohorts of 0 to coach certifications per year. So everything that I'm telling you right now, we do all of this for every launch. So we know that we have 6 emails going out. We say, okay, our pre-sale emails will go out 31 and 30 days before the class. Those are our pre-sale emails. And then it's going to go to permanent price. After that, all emails are about permanent price. So the permanent price emails will go out 14 days before, 7 days before, 2 days before, the night before class, and the morning of class. All of these emails have an assigned date, and we are going to be selling people into this masterclass. Now, with that being said, when we're sitting here face-to-face, drinking our coffee in our hoodies, these emails are not yet written, okay? We simply start by just creating the shell of what is needed to get into the calendar. Now,
okay, I don't believe that statement. Again, just my opinion, but I highly doubt, especially if this is a program that she runs every year. Like she was saying, we run 2 mini minds a year. We do this, we do that. You probably already have the emails written from last year. You're just going to tweak them slightly and then send them again, right? Like that's what?
Let's fast forward a little bit. Once you've been teaching a class multiple times, like let's say that I've taught this class 2 or 3 times in the last 2 to 3 years, we will recycle emails. However, this particular class was a new class to us, so there were no emails to recycle. They were all to be written later.
Okay. Prove me wrong. I'm wrong. She's right. Ignore me.
But we don't use our time. Gigi and I don't use our time to write emails in real time. When we are together, we are trying to use our time the most efficiently, and writing emails is not that. So we create the skeleton and then we say we'll write the emails later. So once we feel complete with the email schedule, we move on to the podcast schedule. So it might look something like this. All right, so the 10X formula is coming out on June 19th and June 20th. The masterclass starts right when episode 165 is released. So we need a commercial for this masterclass built into episode 163, 164, and 165. And then episode 166 will house a commercial for the replay. All right. By the way, this is the commercial for the replay. You guys should definitely listen to this class. Best class yet, especially if you have a team member or 20 team members, or you know that you're about to have team members. Your team is only as good as you train them. So get the class. Okay. So once we feel complete with the podcast episode schedule, we then move on to how we're going to squeeze in 30 to 50 story slides on Instagram in that final 14 days before the cart closes. Now, before I move away from podcasts, I just want to say that depending on what I'm selling in that podcast episode, usually I would say 80% of the time, I make the actual podcast episode related to what I'm selling. So let's say that I'm selling how to sell on Instagram class. That podcast episode is going to be something about Instagram, about how important Instagram is, about why you should be taking Instagram seriously. And then I am.
Okay, is this revolutionary? I'm just really confused as to why anyone would. I don't know. Maybe I'm being an asshole. Let me know if I'm being an asshole. I just think, okay, I guess it's great because it's a free podcast. I'm just confused why this was sent to me because I'm like, this isn't necessarily problematic. The information she's teaching is actually quite accurate, I would say. But it's definitely not revolutionary. So I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings as we listen to this. I guess because it's funneling into a problematic program, perhaps. Three Flamingo says, it's all smoke and mirrors and no substance marketing. Copy and paste. Blueprints of formulas that may get little attention with a paid ad and then will fail because it's actually nothing but BS. That's fair. I'm just like, to me, this is all information I know. Like, obviously, if I'm going to launch a program about how to grow on Instagram and I have a podcast, I might make a couple podcast episodes about why Instagram is such a valuable tool for your business. Like, that's just common sense. Obviously, if you're going to sell something, you need to like have authority in that thing that you're selling. Like, I sell a $5 bookkeeping template. What are 99% of my TikToks about? How to do your bookkeeping in your business. Like, obviously, you should make content around the thing that you're trying to sell. Why is this news? I don't get it.
I'm converting the commercial at the end or at the beginning to coincide with what I am selling and what I am talking about. I don't make an episode that's just about health and wellness and then try to sell how to sell on Instagram on the back end of that. Does that make sense? So you want things to all kind of flow together. Now,
exactly. That's how I feel too, Suzanne. Suzanne says it's basic, but it doesn't sound problematic. I'm confused.
Now, as I'm going through this, I understand that some of you all are completely following along and you're like, this is so easy. Some of you guys, you're new to launching. This feels overwhelming. Again, I want you to just take what you can and leave.
Yeah, going back to what she said at the beginning where this is worth $2,000, absolutely not. You could Google this and probably find it for free.
The rest. So if you're at a point where your brain can only handle the capacity of like writing emails to go with your launch, let's say that you're like, holy shit, I never even thought about writing 6 emails and staggering them out in a specific way with my launch, then just take that and walk away with it. Okay. All right, let's move on to.
I wish more people would take that note of staggering out your emails. You know how many coaches send me 7 kajillion emails on the day that they're launching? I see this discourse a lot on threads of like, if you're launching a product, how many emails should you send in a day? And like so many people will die on the hill that you'll send like 5 emails in one day. Please do not send me 5 emails in one day. Absolutely not. I'm not interested. No, thank you.
The social media 30 to 50 story slides on Instagram. Most of these slides get built out and are put into a folder for me once Gigi is back in Chicago. So we want this folder filled up and ready to go at least 30 days before the launch. But again, we're not spending our time doing this together because we want our time together to be efficient, and her creating story slides is not the best use of our time. So she does that later once she's back in Chicago. As a final touch, we go back and we look through our email schedule, our podcast schedule, our story slide schedule. We try to make sure everything is lined up to the proper dates. And then as a final touch, we make sure that there is a transition strategy out of each masterclass. So in particular, we say, where does this masterclass lead people? Once they come into the 10X formula, where do we want them to go? Are we incentivizing them to come into the circle with some sort of bonus or limited time upgrade option?
Okay, this is it. This is where we talk about like value ladders. So people will often post like a free lead magnet on Instagram, sign up for my checklist and you can join my email list. Then you get on the email list and they try to sell you this masterclass, for example. Then you get to the end of the masterclass. Well, now I have a mini mind that's going to teach you everything in depth, a personalized touch. I'll actually look at your business. Then you join the mini mind and they're trying to sell you, one-on-one coaching. And it's just like, that's where we're getting into the traditional approach that we see in the coaching industry.
Are we offering them a VIP package? Are we leading them to a mini mind with some sort of limited time bonus or upgrade option? Okay, so no launch in my world has a dead end. It leads the horse to a new watering hole where they can get filled up on new and bigger material. Every single thing leads to something else. Okay, every single thing leads to something else. So everything that I just took you through was one monthly masterclass. When we tie a bow on that monthly masterclass, let's say that we are done creating the shell, the mark.
Wait, is she saying that she sells a masterclass every month? That seems like a lot, especially if you're putting all of this effort into launching. So she said she sends 6 emails, 50 story slides, and I don't remember how many Instagram posts. But if you're doing that every single month and you have other offers like clients that you have to work with, that seems exhausting to me.
Marketing shell for the 10X formula. We then move on and we do this with all of the 6 upcoming masterclasses over the next 6 months, as well as our coaching certification, our mastermind, our mini mind, one-to-one sessions, pre-sales, post-sales, bonuses, and VIPs. Okay. So we end our 2 days together with the exact blueprint launch dates and a fully fleshed out plan of action. So we know what are we launching and when are we launching it? What are the dates of every single email that needs to go out and what that email is leading to? All of the dates of every podcast episode and what that podcast is leading to, and when to post what thing on social media and why.
Okay, again, nothing revolutionary. Whether you're selling a masterclass or you're selling a physical product or anything, you should know what the end goal is and then reverse engineer how you're going to get people to that end goal. Like, what?
And guys, this is how you squeeze every drop of juice out of the lemon. Nothing that we are doing is just because. It's like all tied to a greater picture. I'm not just popping on a podcast and just talking a bunch of shit and then getting off without it tying back somewhere. So when she goes home to Chicago, we know exactly, let's say the following week comes up, there is no, what are we doing? And what are we selling today? And like, do we sell the membership or do we sell the masterclass? Or like, I don't really know what we're selling. No, we just look at our schedule that we built out and we're like, okay, this week we have an email going out on Monday and an email going out on Friday. Both of these emails are going to the 10X formula. And this is the pre-sale emails. We know exactly what we're doing at all times.
I can't stop thinking about Grant Cardone every time she says 10X. Like, wouldn't you Google it first before you're going to name something to make sure that it's not already a really popular grift? I wouldn't want to be associated with that. I'm just saying.
All right. Now, could we have done all of this over Zoom? Sure. And I think that at another time in our business, we would have had to. We wouldn't have had the money to fly her in and put her up in a hotel. But I notice now that spending a couple days in real life and like taking walking breaks and sunshine breaks and chatting over our lattes and really getting to know each other on a
Okay, Three Flamingos, we could actually make this happen. Three Flamingo says, I want a mini mindless member magnet. Mega millionaire mini mindless.
deeper level has been insanely fruitful for our relationship and the betterment of the business. And some of our best ideas and aha moments are when we have shut our laptops down and we are just chatting like friends. So as you're reading this and hopefully writing down and taking notes and sharing this episode with other coach friends, I want you to ponder how much effort you put into your launch strategy. Many of you guys tell me that you're all in, you're going 1,000%, you've been selling your ass off, you're launching. But then once I dig into your launch plan, it's like 2 emails and a couple posts. And you might be thinking about your launch a lot, but you're not actually selling it a lot. And this is the difference between a 5-figure earners and like 7-figure earners, okay? How you launch is important. Now, hear me out. You don't have to be this organized. It has taken me years to get to this place, to be this organized. You don't have to be like this. However, you do need to give this much give a damn. You have to have this much give a damn, because even before I was this organized, I had this much give a damn. I was sending out this many emails. I was sending out this many posts. I was making this many stories. I just didn't have any help, and I didn't have any organized dates. I didn't have, like, I woke up every week and had to decide what I was selling and what made sense. It wasn't organized like this. However, I had this much energy behind what I was doing and what I was selling. And guys, when you are ready to start being led in business by someone who is capable of making you 7 figures and knows exactly how to launch things, exactly how to sell things, exactly how to make the most money you possibly can, it is time to hire me, okay? I am heavy on strategy. When you come into my world, I'm not going to tell you to think your way into millions. I'm not going to tell you to feel it out and decide how to build your company. Like, there is too much watered down coaching that is happening. I am only working with people who are ready to actually put in the work, ready to be shown exactly what makes money and want to go do it. And I know that my audience is here. You guys are hard workers. It is shown to me through and through a million times over. Every time I meet one of you all are just like ready to put in the work. And you're no longer at the place of needing to figure out how to get one more client. You can get another client. You're already making money. You're trying to figure out how to turn the volume way up on demand and how to make it scalable so that you're actually enjoying your life and making as much money as you want with as much time freedom as you want. And this is why my clients see the results that they do, because I am so heavy on strategy and making sure that you are getting the results. The best place to come into my world is inside of my membership, the circle. Not only are you going to get all...
Okay, I really hate that that's what her membership is called. That's giving, allegedly, in my opinion, cult.
of my teachings, you are going to get business coaching. You are going to get the community. You are going to get a...
Bubba was comfy, but it's so hot in this room. He was panting very heavily, so I asked Pablo to come take him to get a drink because I'm afraid he's going to overheat.
Year of massive, massive results. You want to be inside of the circle. This is the number one place that my students are getting the results that they're getting. This is where people are doubling their income. This is where they are cutting their work time in half. You do not want to miss out. You want to be inside of the circle. We are enrolling right now. Head on over to @1BeccaPike over on my Instagram, and we can enroll you today.
Okay, that actually wasn't bad. I was kind of hoping it would be something a little bit spicier, but that's okay. We work with what we've got. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of this. There we go. Yeah, that was fun. Not revolutionary, but not the worst. Not the worst thing that we have heard on this channel, that's for certain. Who owns the strange arm that came into the picture? That's Pablo. That was Pablo's hand coming to get Bubba so that he could go get a drink, because hydration is very important. Exactly. Bring the dog back. Not today. Maybe next week. I gotta put a bowl of water in my office. Spicy in here. The streak continues. Yet another coach... Wait, sorry, my computer is being silly. Yet another coach with advice vastly outperformed by content in the Canadian Business Builder. Buy my online course. I'm just kidding. But I could send you stuff for free. If you want to learn how to launch, I'll share the spreadsheet that I bought 6 years ago. No kidding. Well, if she has the formula to turn up the volume of business on demand with total time freedom, there's no amount of money that would be too much to pay. Yeah, the ending there was not my favorite, but I will say it's certainly not the worst that we have heard. Quick note before we jump off, before everyone else runs away. Next week's stream will be on Tuesday, not Monday, because I'm busy, okay? I got plans. And then we're going to take some time off in September. It might be a little bit more sporadic in terms of the live stream schedule. I think I'll probably make like an infographic and post it to the community tab and the subreddit. If you're not in the subreddit, you should come hang out with us there. And I'll make sure it's on Instagram too. Just because I have to do a bit of traveling for some weddings in the fall. So my schedule is going to be a little bit crazy. But we're trying our best. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for hanging out, for the good times. I always have fun, especially with those of you here in the live chats. But if you're watching the replay, I appreciate you as well. That's going to be it for today. I got nothing else to say. I'm hungry, so I'm going to go eat some dinner. And I hope you all have a great day, afternoon, evening, morning, wherever, whatever time you're watching this, wherever you are, okay? Remember, I'm just a little silly dumb idiot on the internet. None of this is that serious, okay? So don't get mad at me, or do, whatever. Who cares, honestly? Take care, comb your hair, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!